For the first time in over a decade, the SEC did not have the most five-stars signed out of the 2026 recruiting cycle. The Big 10 and the SEC tied for 13 five-stars according to 247 Sports in their recruiting rankings. So, is this the true end of SEC dominance in college football? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Daily Ham, episode 5 here on the Hammy Show. I'm your host, Hammy Culpepper, and we are brought to you, of course, by our friends at First American Bank and Trust. Only the best bank in the entire United States of America and all of the world, really. First American has been a helping hand in everything that I've done for the Hammy Show. With the Hammy Show, they've gotten me off my feet creating this LLC. And now we're taking this thing to the moon thanks to First American being the presenting sponsor of the Hammy Show, as well as managing my money every single day, no matter what, 365, 247. So we really appreciate those people at First American. Guys, there's a lot going on in the sports world. Of course, it is Super Bowl week. Of course, it is Waste Management week. But what dominates the headlines today is we are less than 24 hours from the NBA trade deadline tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to talk NBA first. A little hoops, a little hardwood floors. The NBA trade line was headlined today by Anthony Davis of the Dallas Mavericks being traded to the Washington Wizards. In Washington, he will join newly acquired Trae Young, longtime point guard with the Atlanta Hawks. Anthony Davis is on his way to Washington, to the nation's capital. Crazy, crazy trade, 8-player trade, including 5 picks in the NBA draft. Dallas receives Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, and, of course, Anthony Davis, while Washington receives – I just completely said that backwards. But Washington receives Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum. On the pick side of things, Dallas receives 2 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. Craziness on the NBA front, a blockbuster trade. Anthony Davis, his trade rumors had been looming for quite a while now, and Dallas finally gets rid of him. But the question that this begs is what in the hell has happened since the Luka Doncic trade from Dallas to LA? Of course, Dallas gets Anthony Davis from LA in exchange for Luka Doncic last trade deadline, and now we're seeing Anthony Davis gone out of Dallas. All they have left is Cooper Flagg. They are in a complete rebuild mode. Of course, they get these 4 players, 5 picks over the next couple of years. We shall see what happens in Dallas, but if I'm a Mavs fan, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't trust Nico Harrison as far as I could throw him. I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. But a few other big trades to focus on. Last night, James Harden was traded to the Cavs in exchange for Darius Garland and a second-round pick to the Clippers. Another big-time question to beg. What is going on in LA, or what is going on with James Harden? I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know the answer. I think this is more on James Harden than it is on the LA Clippers. I was just listening to a report from Bally Sports, and it was a reporter. I'm sorry I can't remember his name to correctly shout him out, but he went in on James Harden. He said, I hope this is piped into the locker room in Cleveland for James Harden to hear. James Harden in Houston, he is welcomed with open arms with Mark D'Antonia, and he gets everything he ever asked for. He wants another superstar alongside him. He gets Chris Paul. What happens when the Rockets go to the Western Conference Finals and play for a Game 7? He absolutely shits the bed, falls apart, and he's off. He's like, oh, well, I don't like it in Houston anymore. So then he goes to Brooklyn to join his good old buddy, old pal, Kevin Durant. Hates it for a year. So he's like, I'll get out of there, and I'm going to go to Philadelphia. They trade Ben Simmons away and get James Harden. He's got an MVP next to him in Joel Embiid, and he still hates it in Philly. He averages 9 points per game. It makes no sense. So he's like, I want out again. Oh, let me go to the bright lights of LA. Let me go where Kawhi Leonard was, where he is, whatever. And let me go be alongside another superstar. Let me go be in Los Angeles. And then he's like, no, I'm averaging 24 and a half. I'm happy here. We're the hottest team in the NBA. Now, I want to go to Cleveland. Let me go to Cleveland. I think this is all on James Harden. I don't think this has anything to do with the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't understand what is wrong with James Harden. He is like the bad roommate or the friend that says he has bad roommates. Have you ever looked in the mirror and said, oh, maybe they're not the bad roommates. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the guy. Maybe I'm the cancer to this whole situation. That's what James Harden is. He's got to look in the mirror, put his ego aside and say, hey, I am the problem. Let me fix myself before I go and blame everybody else. I cannot believe it. I cannot understand it. James Harden is at fault here, not the Clippers. But he's in Cleveland. So, hey, Cleveland gets rid of Darius Garland. They get James Harden. Is Cleveland a finals contending team? Are they even a playoff team? We shall see. I have no idea. But James Harden, I think, is the cancer to the locker room. Another big-time trade, Chris Paul, CP3, goes to the Raptors. He's kind of washed. He's kind of old. He's past his prime. I guess the Raptors get a good one and a leader in their locker room with CP3 there, but who knows. Then Kobe White and Mike Conley from the Bulls to the Hornets. The Bulls, in exchange, get Colin Sexton and Ousmane Deng. I don't really know about that one either. The Bulls seem like they're revamping. Could we see Giannis traded there? This is what's going to dominate the next less than 24 hours is what happens with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Ja Morant is in the mix to headline this trade season, but I think all eyes are on Giannis. So, crazy news from the NBA. It's Super Bowl week. Let's talk NFL. Let's talk the gridiron. Super Bowl week out. We've got a Super Bowl preview, coming out tomorrow. Me and Jack Wright just sat down, previously recorded. It will air tomorrow morning to get you entirely ready for Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco. It is an awesome episode. Jack Wright absolutely brings the juice. He brings the stats and info, and he gives the pick of a lifetime. You just got to wait and see it. So stay tuned tomorrow for our Super Bowl preview. I want to talk about the Pro Bowl, if anybody really gives a rat's ass, because I sure don't, but saw it. Pro Bowl games, NFC rolls to victory in the flag football game, 66-52. So just in case you cared, there's a little NFL update. I want to talk about my friends at Hughes Subaru. Hughes Subaru is powering the Hammy Show on the road. I drive a 2019 Subaru Outback. It has been the greatest car of all time, and I thoroughly enjoy driving it. But the best part about it is it's got 4 wheels, and it gets me where I'm going to all these sporting events across the entire United States of America and maybe the world. Who knows where the Hammy Show on the road will take us? But it is all thanks to Hughes Subaru. If you're in the market for a car, check out Hughes Subaru because it is only the finest automobiles in all the land and their service department. That's the biggest part about Hughes Subaru of Athens. Their service department is second to none. So if you got problems with your current Subaru, take it on over to Hughes Subaru. What's up, everybody? Just wanted to give you a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button on The Hammy Show. We really appreciate all of the support and all of the following that we are gaining constantly. But if you keep doing that, we can keep bringing you this constant coverage. All of the ham-powered antics, the lovable chaos, the wild moments in this crazy world of sports, it's right here on The Hammy Show. And if you hit that button, you won't miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show. Let's talk golf. Hitting the links, hitting the tee box, hitting the greens. Waste Management is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Practice round took place today, and boy, was it electric. It's only a practice round, and the 16th hole Coliseum is already slap full every waking minute of the Waste Management tournament. Brooks Koepka, 2-time Waste Management champ, returns, finally. A long-anticipated return after a big-time PGA Tour hiatus when he went to the LIV Tour, but he is back. He is better than ever. He has played in the American Express. He has played in the Farmers Insurance Open, and now the biggest stage before the majors hit. That is the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Brooks Koepka took the 16th hole, took the tee at the 16th hole today. Left it short of the green, but everybody is just juiced up to see the two-time defending Phoenix champ come back to the Waste Management. It's going to be awesome to watch him this weekend, take on that crowd, take on the noise. I'm juiced up to see Brooks Koepka back in action on the PGA Tour. And of course, celebrities take the course today. Quick sip of water, I'm dying. Yeah, Travis Kelce was on the course today. At the 16th hole, in front of thousands of fans, he went pin hunting, left a ball within 4 feet of the hole, puts it in for birdie, does the Happy Gilmore off of the green, riding his putter like a horse. It was awesome. So Travis Kelce, huge shout out. He is taking podcasting to unprecedented heights, new heights, if you will, on his podcast, new heights alongside his brother, Jason Kelce, and he absolutely steals the show at the Waste Management practice round today. Let's go to college football. We've had major questions surrounding college football all offseason, and we are back to college football news. Breaking, not really breaking because not a lot is happening right now, but I wanted to bring this to attention. For the first time in over a decade, thanks to our stats and information friends at CFB News Today, for the first time in over a decade, the SEC did not have the most 5-stars signed out of the 2026 recruiting cycle. The Big 10 and the SEC tied for 13 5-stars according to 247 Sports and their recruiting rankings. So, is this the true end of SEC dominance in college football? Well, let's take a macro point of view look into the college football landscape that is 2026. The Big 10 has bukus of money. All of those schools have bukus of money, and they are using it. We just saw what Indiana did, winning the national championship. It wasn't really in the limelight until their playoff run, and it came to fruition. It came to our notice that they have the largest living alumni base in the entire United States of America. Over 850,000 living alumni, and boy, are they giving money. One of them being Mark Cuban, a massive billionaire, as you well know, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, and of course, on Shark Tank. He just signed a massive check to Indiana to go to the transfer portal and get all of these dudes to the recruits, get all of these dudes. Indiana is soon to be a powerhouse in college football where they once were the worst Power 4 college football program of all time. So the Big 10, like I just said, point proven with Indiana. They have all of the money and they are controlling college football right now. I don't understand it. I mean, I do understand it. They just have richer alumni and a richer alumni base at all of these schools. But we thought that was just going to be the transfer portal, not necessarily the recruiting rankings. I know these high school recruits are making money, they're getting paid, but I don't yet understand how they've tapped into the high school ranks yet, because it has all been focused on the transfer portal. That is where all of their big-time dollars are going. We've seen it at Ohio State, at Michigan, now at Indiana, at Oregon. But they've tapped into the high school rankings. They signed 13 5-stars. The Big 10 as a whole tied with the SEC, who also has 13 5-stars signed in the 2026 class. So just something of note, just something to keep your eye on. Thanks to CFB News Today for that little bit of information. Hey, guys, I want to talk about a fun thing we're doing on social media. We are doing an Athlete of the Day, and it is presented by the Vinyl Frontier. The Vinyl Frontier is the greatest record store in all of America. Ladies and gentlemen, the selection they have there in Carrollton, Georgia on the town square is second to none. It is awesome. It's all about the experience, going in there, putting a vinyl on the 8-track, listening to some tunes, talking to the guys behind the desks, figuring out what your favorite type of music is, what your favorite record is, and buying it right there. But if you can't get to Carrollton, if you're not traveling down I-20 and you can't pop off to the city of dreams, Carrollton, Georgia, then you can go to their website, vinylfrontier.com, and get any record in the entire universe at the tip of your fingers there at the vinylfrontier.com. Shop local, my friends. So the Vinyl Frontier Athlete of the Day is Matt Forte, number 22 for the Chicago Bears, baby. Matt Forte, an absolute stud, one of the fastest dudes in the NFL. He is a legend in Chicago. Athlete of the Day, Matt Forte. I promise you we're going to get back on the Athlete of the Day post every single day for social media. We missed yesterday's, and we're going to miss today's. We've got big things coming on the podcast front here on YouTube. We're putting social clips out in regards to those videos, those long-form videos, so stay tuned on social media at _Hammy Show on Instagram, which we are live on, and at The Hammy Show here on TikTok, which we are also live on. But big things coming. Super Bowl preview tomorrow. And my friends, what do we have in store for you tonight, dropping at 8 p.m.? That is none other than the Hammies. The 2026 Hammies, awarding college football's best stars, coaches, moments, games, etc. The Hammies are the most coveted awards in all of college football, and we bring them to you tonight. Co-host Drew Butler and I awarded 2025-2026 college football's best moments, best stars, whatever. And it is an all-time episode, about an hour long. My friends, you do not want to miss this here on YouTube. We're going to have social clips coming out as well on Instagram and TikTok. So just a few promotional things before we get back to business here on the Daily Ham. Installment 5, thanks to all of you for hopping on here, the lives. Winter Olympics. Some news came out today. The mixed doubles curling began today before the opening ceremonies in 2 days. But at the historic curling stadium in Cortina, Italy, the lights went out. Now, there has been multiple complaints that these buildings, these stadiums are not up to par. They are not up to date. They are not ready for the Winter Olympics to happen. And it was point proven today as the curlings kicked off. The lights go out. The power shuts down, and it is pandemonium. When the lights come back on, the fans lose it. The athletes were still skating around in the pitch black dark, staying warm, staying ready. But some big news out of the Winter Olympics is these stadiums are not ready to host the Winter Olympics. So we shall see if any other power outages happen. But the Olympics are 2 days away, my friends. The United States of America in hockey, we talked about this yesterday, plus 175 to win gold this year, just behind Canada at plus 125. So if you're a betting man, put some money on the U.S. to win gold in hockey. I am looking forward to that here in the Winter Olympics. College baseball, another countdown. College baseball is 9 days away. The diamond is ready for it. The grass is cut. The dirt is groomed. The popcorn is popped. The hot dogs are boiling. That is how close we are to college baseball. I am absolutely juiced. It is my favorite of all time sport, only behind college football. But on the pro side of baseball, the MLB is 50 days away from opening day. We've got big-time news coming from the top 100 prospects. We've got big-time news for projections of the season, roster movements, what will happen in the MLB season. So keep your eye on pro baseball. It is 50 days away. Bet of the day, we are 2-2 on the year. Went 1-1 last night with the Bulls minus 2.5. They ended up losing to the Bucks, and the Lakers, they ended up covering at minus 8.5 against the Nets. But tonight we're going to college basketball. 2 more games to give you. Texas A&M plus 8.5 at Alabama. Texas A&M came into Athens a few weeks ago, got to see them live and in person, and they looked like a damn good team. Alabama has been a ranked team. They've been up and down, a roller coaster of a season for the Crimson Tide. I know it's in Tuscaloosa, but I think this A&M team has something in store. Then, over out west in the Midwest, BYU minus 7.5 at OK State. BYU is the 16th ranked team in all of America. They have tournament hopes. They have national championship hopes. They have Big 12 tournament hopes. And I really think they're going to take it to the Cowboys of Oklahoma State tonight in Oklahoma State Stadium. So BYU minus 7.5. Let's get to the mailbag, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some major comments coming. I know we had some on Instagram here earlier from Cade Black. Let's see what he said. Hammy, do you think the spring game will happen? I hate to speculate on this here issue, because I love the spring game. The spring game is one of my favorite times in all football. And that sounds like an exaggeration, but it truly is. And it's not necessarily for me. This is an unselfish point of view. But the spring game means so much to the fan that can't afford the ticket to the Georgia-Texas game. The fan that can't afford the ticket to the Georgia-Ole Miss game. The fan that can't afford the ticket to the Alabama-LSU, to the USC-Notre Dame, to the Ohio State-Michigan game. That's what the spring game is for. It's free admission across college campuses across the United States of America. The diehard 7-year-old that has been watching the Dogs came out of the womb wearing a Georgia onesie. That's who it's for. But their parents can't afford a ticket, so they take them to G-Day here in Athens, in Sanford Stadium, to watch their idols play. That's what the spring game is to me. So, will it happen? I don't know. I guess in the grand scheme of college football, is it advantageous to these college football programs? I think it is. I think it's a chance to watch football for the fans, and I think it's a chance to understand who your team is, where your weaknesses are, what your strengths are. So I love the spring game. I think it's an advantage for these college football programs, but with the transfer portal, with the new age of NIL, I can see the differences and why it is not advantageous for these teams to run a spring game. So it sucks, but we shall see. I really didn't answer your question. I just wanted to voice my opinion on what the spring game means to me and means to so many fans across the United States of America. It just hurts. It just hurts that they might not happen here in Athens. It might not happen G-Day, that is. Here on TikTok, Walker Bradbury commented, Max Homa back to the winner's circle. How sweet would that be? I would love to see Max Homa in the winner's circle, especially in an event like the Waste Management. I know it's not the fifth major. We call that the Players' Championship. But the Waste Management is a top 7, top 8 tournament in the PGA, on the PGA Tour. Max Homa, to get a win at an event like that would be outstanding for his career. Max Homa is one of the most well-loved players on the tour, and we have get to see him in the winner's circle. So to do it at an event like the Waste Management Phoenix Open would be absolutely electric. Walker, thank you for the comment here on TikTok. Let's see if we have any more. Can we get a take on the Daytona 500? Ladies and gentlemen, I will be at Atlanta Motor Speedway in February for the 400. It's going to be awesome. NASCAR, I got the bug, man. I went for the first time to a NASCAR event in my life, the Atlanta Motor Speedway, that was last February. It was electric. When the cars come by, we were sitting on turn 4. When they come by and you hear the vibrations, the noise of the engines roaring past you, it is electrifying. It is addicting, to be quite honest. So I've got the NASCAR bug. I don't yet know the lines on anything for the Daytona 500. So I can't give my educated guess, my educated opinion on the Daytona 500 and the NASCAR season as a whole. But hey, Walker, I love you bringing that to my attention. We are going to definitely do some NASCAR research. We'll get some stats and info on it, and we will give you our takes on NASCAR here in the coming days. Guys, like I said, we've got big things coming. Tonight, the Hammies drop at 8 p.m. Huge, huge college football moment. It's the greatest award show in all of college football. Drew Butler and I host it for an exceptional night, an exceptional viewing of college football's best moments, stars, athletes, coaches, players, games, whatever. That is what college football is all about, is the fans, and we're bringing you an award show for the fans, made by the fan, Hammy Culpepper. So tune in tonight to the Hammy Show, where we bring you the Hammies. Then tomorrow, we're bringing you our Super Bowl preview, co-hosted by myself and Jack Wright. We have everything you need to know about Super Bowl 60 between the Patriots and the Seahawks, so stay tuned for that tomorrow, dropping on the Hammy Show. Here, the Daily Ham, we are dropping this episode later tonight on YouTube, so if you missed it on TikTok and Instagram Live, then we've got it ready for you on YouTube. What else do we have? Gosh, we have so much coming out. Oh, next week, we have our college baseball preview hosted by myself and Jack DeLong Champs with the Pencil Talk. It's going to be an electric preview. There's so much going on in the college baseball world, and this season, the 2026 season, is going to be electric, so get ready for that. Guys, oh, man, I'm out of breath. I need a sip of water before we sign this thing off. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the lives on Instagram and on TikTok. Thanks for following along on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. The Hammy Show, we're going to the moon. We just hit 9,000 followers on Instagram yesterday. 10,000 is the goal before the end of February. So give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscription on YouTube. We really, really appreciate it. Once again, guys, I'm Hammy Culpepper. This is the Hammy Show, and this is the Daily Ham. We are brought to you by First American Bank and Trust. I'm going to sign it off because I got so much work to do to get all of these episodes ready for you. So that does it for me. As always, Hammy.